All right, everybody, we are trying to get a link between Danny and I so that we can do a live stream together. Now, this is just a test stream, so it is up and running now because I see 0 on there, but as soon as you grab the link, you got.
Yeah, I don't see it yet.
How long did it take to get the link?
Yeah, it shouldn't take that long.
I sent you the invite.
Yeah, because I've gotten some of your emails before. It's like on January 22nd. It says you're now.
Yeah, you're now a manager of Stunhanger.
Okay, let me go into one of your older emails.
Okay.
On invite. Okay, I'm going to go into the older. I just accepted an invitation on the old email. Says you already have access to this account.
Right. You're looking for.
Click on manage this account.
You're looking for an email that says StreamYard.
Yeah, I know. I don't have StreamYard. I looked into that.
You don't need it.
Like they've got different versions.
You don't need it. You just need to get that email that I sent you and click on the link, and that'll bring you into the green room.
Okay.
We got one watcher, so on a test. Okay. If this doesn't work, I'll end this stream. And hey, Steve, if this doesn't work, I'll end this stream and I'll come back with another stream, one that's titled correctly, and delete this one. But it'd be great if we could get, I mean, if you were on a computer, no problem. But I've never done this with a phone.
Yeah. Even StreamYard has a phone version. I'm sure it's the light version.
Let me check my email and see if it went through. Yeah, it went through. Cyber chips, creative market, experience. Yeah. I ordered some more cups yesterday for mixing epoxy, them little paper cups.
Yeah. I was just in Menards earlier and getting some clamps and stuff. And I think a box of gloves, I don't know what kind they were, probably heavier duty than what I needed, but there's like $17 for a small box.
Harbor Freight, that's where you need to go.
Used to buy them by the case and get it from a guy. He'd get a case at a time of them. They were a lot cheaper.
So did you get the StreamYard link yet? Refresh it.
Okay. Let's see here.
All right, my subscribers, sorry about the boring things going on, but we're trying to get a stream going between Danny and me. If this works, I'll make a new video and we'll start again. If it doesn't work, I'll make a new video and start again.
Yeah, I don't see anything popping up.
Let me try again. We're going to add invite. We're going to copy. I'm going to send it.
The other thing, Sparky, I can do, you go ahead and stream.
I'm streaming now.
Which you already are. I'll go through my end, and I'll see if I can go through my end and get into a Stunhanger.
Oh, I know. Wait a minute. Maybe I sent it to the Indie RR account. Let me. All right, here we go. Let me send this.
The reason I didn't give you that account, I think eventually it'll go away. I was trying to get it all on the Gmail.
Okay, everything. I sent it to Gmail this time.
Okay. It should show up here in a minute.
Yeah, considering it's Gmail to Gmail.
Yeah. Well, I got the second pour of my landing gear mold. I got it, I guess, pretty much finished, except for Kieran.
Did you mail me a bell crank?
Not yet. I didn't get too big a hurry since you said you already had one.
Yeah, it's already in there, but.
Yeah, I just got back from the dentist.
All right, now check your Gmail.
Okay.
I hope this works.
Oh, it'll work eventually. It'll work eventually.
You got your camera hooked up right now?
Yeah, I got it turned on.
Okay. You get the email?
No.
Come on.
Let me look in the, see if it went into the spam mail or something. It's not in there. All mail.
It'll say StreamYard invite, I think. Sanding my trailing edge. Hope it ain't, the grinding sound ain't too bad.
No, that's good. Hey, that's the hardest part on an I-beam is trying to get that trailing edge and the leading edge sanded in.
Yeah, I know. I got it last. I had to change some ribs out. I sanded them way too thin.
Yeah. Yeah, probably the best thing to do, or it's maybe overkill in some cases. Take them off, put some tape on them, that way you don't get hard.
Well, it had to have come by now.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Let me do something on my end here. Let me go into my quick. Let's see here.
I know what I'll do. I looks like I can edit the title of this right now without deleting this, so I don't have to start a new stream. I'll edit this. Test.
So I got my camera on the phone.
Sanding.
And if I go to YouTube,
No, you gotta get in by, oh, yeah, if you go to YouTube, maybe you can click on the link if I post it on the link.
Well, that's what I'm gonna try to do, try to get on Stunt Hanger for my side of the thing here and see what happens.
Okay, I'm gonna post this link in the chat, so you have to get on the chat and then click the link. Nobody else click on that, please. There's a link in there posted on, that's, I pinned it even. We'll get this going somehow. Man, long ways to go. Are you on YouTube yet?
Yeah, I got into my live stream app on my phone. I didn't click on it. Where I was going to on YouTube on my account, I couldn't change it, you know. I could have clicked on it on live, but
And you need to click on that link I put in the chat of the YouTube or the invite that I put.
okay, so let me go into your video. Basically, going into the invite, it's just sort of like what you're doing with Charles on Stunt Hanger.
No,
And,
no, it's not. This is a different program. He doesn't have this program.
I got you.
That's Zoom that he's using.
I got you.
I mean, we could do a Zoom meeting, but
Yeah, so
you'd have to get an email for that too.
yeah. So I'm to the point now where I can actually go into your stream right now with my phone, not with my GoPro.
Okay, we'll go ahead and do it. Let's see if we can get connected up somehow.
Okay, so it says enter studio, so I'll do that.
Okay. That should put you in the green room. And when I see you, I can let you in. And then you can figure out how to get your camera to interface with it.
If not, we can just
Yep, there you are. Yep, and I see you. Okay, let me bring in. All right, this is Danny. Add image. Let's do this. There we are. Is your microphone working?
I don't know, is it?
I can hear you on the phone, but they can't hear you on the. Probably going to have to hang up this phone call.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, bye. All right. Try again, Dan. Maybe get out and then back in, because you froze up now. There you are. I hear you tapping on something.
Okay, let me get out of that.
Your camera's froze up, so I think you're probably going to have to go out and come back in.
Okay.
Yep, you're froze. Yep, Danny is frozen up. Sorry about this, guys, but we're trying something new. Worked for a minute. There he is. Okay, he went out, so we'll come back in and we'll get underway. So anyway, what I'm doing today is I'm sanding out the tails of these ribs. Got the leading edge done last night. Had to replace several ribs because I had sanded them too narrow. Took too much to didn't have them set down on the spar far enough. Well, that worked for a minute. This is going to come off the bench today. We're going to do our landing gear next. Start getting the controls in it. No ways to go yet. Come on, Danny. Click on the link. Maybe he's trying to get his GoPro camera working. That's good. Did everybody see where they tried to bribe Kerry Lake? Our government is dirty. Of course, we all know that. There comes Dan. Oh. Let's see. Well, it says devices not connected. No. He must be working on getting his GoPro connected because it says not. There it is. All righty. All righty, we got you. Say something. There you are.
Okay. Got any audio?
Yep, we got it. I don't know why your camera's in portrait though. Why is it in portrait instead of? There it is. All right, we're looking at the mold there.
Yeah. Let me get this camera positioned here.
You want to tell them what you're doing today? I'll bring into full studio. Let's see, how do I, oh, there we are. Let's see, hide chat, present. Oh, wait a minute, exit full screen. How do I make you big? Let's see here. Oh. Other way. Oh, shoot. I kicked you off, Danny, somehow, or you got off. Try again. There you are. There you are. I need to, what'd you do? Did you do that or did I?
I think that was me.
Screen layout, press shift 6. No, that's not. I'm trying to get you big so you take up the whole screen. I know you can do it because the other guys do it. Let's see.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right.
All right. Well, tell us what you're doing.
Well, basically what you're looking at here is what I did yesterday. This is the mold. So if any of the guys watched this yesterday, I actually mixed up this resin here, poured it into this mold. So this stuff here, basically, to get the full property of the cure of the pour, it has to be post-cured in an oven. But as far as good enough to demold, we'll do that today. So we'll find out if I stuck the mold here. So this is always the moment of truth. And so if this all works out, I'll have a landing gear mold.
Or a catastrophic lockup.
Yeah. Or a big
Paperweight.
yeah, doorstop. But if you go the PVA route, you're pretty much assured, wax and PVA, that it's going to work. So this was just put on with wax, and you saw how easy that came off. And the other side here, there's the other plastic. Let's see, these are coming off pretty easy. And that was just one coat of wax. Where you get into trouble stuff sticking, it's not the epoxy or the layup next to dissimilar materials like plastic. Where you get into the lockup is when you try to put a new epoxy casting right next to a fresh casting without any PVA. And that's where you get into trouble. So there's the little dams I made to actually form the mold. Now this is the part that pretty much tells the story here. See if we can get this thing apart. Get some of the flash off here. One thing you got to watch out for on this flash is it'll cut you.
I got about a half a gallon of that material left.
Do you?
Yeah, I need to order some more.
One of the things worth mentioning right now, if you watch the video from yesterday when I poured this, I poured it up to maybe, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch, 7/8 right here. And when I shut the camera off, I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I had really two options. One option was to make up more resin and make it thicker, pour a thicker mold. The other option was a metal post in there or some structure inside the mold. So let me get that tube. I'll show you what I did. So this is 3/4 inch OD cold rolled steel. It's a pretty thick wall. And what I did is got some of this. This was scrap from a job. I had a bunch of cutoffs. I cleaned it up, you know, got the scaly stuff off, got it clean. And I took a hunk of this stuff and I cut it, I don't know, it was probably an inch short on each end. So in other words, it was this long. While the resin was still wet, I dropped this down in there and let it sink. So on the top of this mold, to give it more strength, since this is a sort of a weak point of the mold, I embedded this steel tube. So that adds strength to the mold. Now, the danger of doing that is if you have this composite tool, the mold, and you're going to cycle it maybe 250, 300 degrees, you might have trouble. I'm not positive, but if this expands and contracts at a different rate than the epoxy does, you might end up with some trouble.
Did you fill it? Did you fill the tube up with material first?
No, I plugged the ends of it. So basically the inside of this tube is hollow inside this mold.
That ain't good.
Well, you're going to have pressure built up. I mean, so
Yeah.
basically the way this mold is, I'm almost positive it's going to be good for, 100, 150 degrees.
Yeah.
And if I was going to make this tool where I was going to cook it in the mold at 300, 350, that kind of stuff, I wouldn't have done that. So that's just something to think about. So here's the magic moment here. See if I can get this thing apart. Let me, I'll put some plastic down here so I don't mess up my glass. Now the way I've done this, let me get a little hammer here for it.
I'm trying to make you big, but I can't.
Yeah, that's all right. They can see. As far as modeling goes, here's a good hammer. It's called a Nipex. And
lines.
let me work on this flash a little bit. Let's see here. Clean up some of this so I can. Even though this mold, it looks like it's cured because it's, nice and crispy. It's really not. I mean, you'd have to put this in an oven, and I'll do that. I'll take this mold, and I think what I'll do, I'll put it in the oven maybe 2 or 3 hours at 150, and then a couple hours at 200, maybe go. That's about all I'll post-cure it at. So the best way to pop these open, or try to anyway, I flip it upside down. And out here on the ears, I'll give it a little tap. Come over here. So there we got it. So now it looks like it came out nice and clean. We'll take this out of there. This was the master part. This was the mock-up gear. So I used carbon fiber to make the mock-up, and I did that to make sure that I had the properties I wanted. Now, if you make this out of anything other than the material you're going to actually have the gear made out of, it's hard to tell what the final properties are. But so when I duplicate this part in the mold, it'll come out the same. Now, this gear isn't a control line gear. It's made up for an RC fun fly plane. But anyway, the whole process is the same, no matter what type of gear. And there's little spots in there where I hot melt glued this thing or C8'd it on top of the PVA to hold it. I'll clean clean that up in there. No little spots. But anyway, it looks good. And this looks pretty good too. So I'll clean the PVA out, sand the corners that are sharp a little bit out here. And really, when it comes time to laying this thing up, out of all the composite parts, the landing gear is probably the easiest to do, because you take the toe and you'd set some paper down or whatever, and you wet the toe out. You get it all where you want it. You can use a roller and wet the toe out. And once you have the formula as far as how much toe, you know, you're going to have more toe here than you do down here where it gets smaller. Once you get it all figured out, you wet it out outside the mold, and you just take the carbon toe, you set it on the mold, you know, you push it down, pack it down in there tight, and then this part here closes the mold, just like that. Once you close the mold, top and bottom, that leaves you with the ears out here, which is this area here. In order to form the bottom part of your landing gear where the axle goes, you know, you pack the carbon toe down in that opening really tight, and then you can put some cloth over it or whatever you want to do, and then you'll actually clamp some kind of plate, not these plates, but anything that's flat, aluminum plate or plastic, you'll clamp that on this way. So then you'll put another clamp across, which will squeeze, you know, all of your carbon in this way. And then to demold it, you'll take this clamp off, take the plates off, and open the mold. Once your gear is made, you go through the same process where you actually hold on to this part, and then you'll tap out here, and it'll separate. So it's a pretty simple process, really. It's just trying to get everything lined up to where there's some prep work where you got to make the box and everything, you know, to make the mold.
Let's let them know what this cost. That mold you're looking at cost $100. At least it was at least it was when I was in Dayton. I don't know what it is now, but
yeah. I'm trying to remember. To make a mold this size, I used the last of this 1 gallon I had just for this top part here, and I'm sure there's probably pretty close to the same amount here. So you could probably make a landing gear mold, probably for, depending on the size of the mold, but for a control line size airplane, you could probably make a mold for a gallon. So
$100.
A little bit left over, but you're looking at probably, to be safe, start out with a gallon of resin. Now these little things, these bell crank type molds, you know, you can get quite a few of those out of a gallon. These little things here. So whatever a gallon is, I'm sure.
It's $100.
Yeah, it's probably gone up since then. I'm trying to remember what it is now. Now the other thing is, Sparky and I and John, and there's other people that use this resin services, and it's good stuff. I mean, I like it, but there's other things available. I'm not going to comment on the price of the other stuff, but there's other stuff out there that you can use. But as long as it has the same properties. I mean, if it's room temp, it's room temp. If it's high temp, you know, that's another thing. But what you're looking at here, here's the casting resin, and here's the hardener.
HDR 250, another $100.
Well, this isn't 250. This is the casting to make this mold.
Oh, that's the HAC 56010. HAC 560, 10 pounds per can. Right?
And then, yeah, and then you got the Hardner 9234. Now,
Right.
you've got the spec sheet, Sparky, in the binder, or John does. I remember.
I've got it right here.
Okay, so if you look at the HAC 560, you're going to notice here, and also in your binder on the spec sheet, you're going to notice that they're going to have different curing agents. So you've got really, let's see, one, two, you got three choices of hardener here. I use the 9234. Okay.
That's
You could
560.
use, yeah, you could use the 8433 or the 8401.
Right.
Now, the reason why they have different hardeners on this is for different thicknesses. So the 9234 is for small molds, like a bell crank mold or a landing gear that's up to 2.5 inches thick. If you're going to cast a 7-inch thick casting or a bigger block of whatever, you want to go with the other slower curing agents. So that way you don't build up an exotherm. So that's why they have multiple curing agents. And for a 2.5 inch mold for this, the 9234 worked out really well.
They give that to you free.
Well, if you buy the, yeah, they'll put that in there, whatever curing agent you want with the price of the gallon, I'm sure. But
right,
the neat thing about resin services is if you want to buy just a quarter curing agent, they'll sell it to you. So how many times have you bought Bondo and wish you had another tube of curing agent, MEK?
yeah.
I don't know. There's only one time in my life I ever had Bondo come out perfect as far as the curing agent. I always end up running out of the small tube of the curing agent first. So anyway, that's what this mold is made out of. Now, if you wanted to lay up this landing gear in this mold, what you want to use is the HTR 250 with the 106.3.
Wait a minute. That's the resin, right?
That's the resin.
Laminating. What'd you say the numbers were? HTR 250.
Yeah, the 250. You've got some of it. HTR 250.
And the hardener is the HT 106.
Yes. Yep. And if you make the landing gear out of that resin and you mix it up right, of course, I guarantee you and you can even post cure it. You can make it up and then post cure the part, but you're not going to end up with a landing gear that sags. The beauty of the HTR 250 is when you lay up the landing gear, let's just say that this landing gear is a room temp mold. So you cannot put this in the oven, but you can still make a high temp part out of that mold. So what you do, you take the HTR 250 in a room temp mold, and then you demold it and you pull the part out. And then you can take the part, as long as it's supported, let's say on a flat aluminum plate or something like this, and you can stick the part in the oven and post cure it. So you can make high temp parts in a room temp mold. You don't have to cure it in the mold.
Well, that mold calls for an hour post cure time.
Yeah. Yeah, if you look up the post cure schedule to this,
I did.
Yeah, you're looking at like multiple hours. I mean, and here's a little bell crank I demolded. And
that's the HAC 560, right?
HAC 560 is for this mold here.
Right. And the post cure is 1 hour at 100 degrees, or you can go up to 350 at 1 hour.
Yeah. So basically, when you post cure this mold at 350, you could probably cook landing gear in this mold at 350. Now, if you're making these landing gear out of HTR 250 and you wanted to cure it in this mold hot, I'd heat this mold up to about 100 degrees and I'd lay up the carbon toe out of HTR 250 in this mold, and the mold's already warmed up. I'd lay it in there, close the mold, put it in the oven at 150, let it go for an hour, crank it up to 200 degrees for 1 hour, turn it down, pull it out. After about 3 or 4 hours, you'd have a hard post-cured part. But what you're doing is you're able to cycle the mold numerous times throughout the day instead of waiting all day for a room temp cure. So you're able to lay up more parts per day in the same mold when you raise the temperature up. So that's a quick explanation of why you'd need a higher temp mold. So
Yeah, when I was farting around before I got with you, when I was farting around, I made them landing gear out of Easy Lamb, and they'd get hot and sag. So
yeah. So Easy Lamb is basically a low temp resin, high temp. If you go back with Burt Rutan when he was doing the long EZs and these airplanes he was making, they were painting them white. And they were painting them white for multiple reasons, but the main reason was when they set them out in the Nevada sun, they weren't going to melt. So the white was more reflective, obviously, than if they would have painted it flat black. I mean, it would have probably overcooked the resin. So the neat thing about this high temp HTR 250 stuff, you can make it at room temp. And then when you subject that resin to higher temperatures, it cross-links and gets harder and harder. And so, you know, you'll maintain or you'll get better properties as time goes on if you subject it to heat.
is there an FR after the end of 250?
Let's see.
HDR, oh no, HDR 250 FR. There's
I'm
another.
not sure. I'm not sure what the FR would be. I'd have to look that up. Some of the things in your catalog, Sparky, versus mine from years ago, they've actually updated some stuff.
I got an HDR 250, and the hardener is 8433.
Yeah, that's one of the hardeners, and I've never used the 8433.
9432. Which hardener are you using?
Okay, when I'd make a landing gear with the HTR 250,
Yeah,
it was 106-3.
got it. Okay, this is the one I need right here. Yeah, there's different. That's 100 to 24 by weight, right?
Right. So if you have 100 grams of 250,
you need 24 grams.
24 grams of 106.3.
And if you go to the other, the 9234, it's 25 grams.
Yeah.
And the 8433 is 25. And same with the FR 106-3. Okay, I see what I did. No problem.
So the neat thing about this resin services is you can take a resin and you can change the properties by what curing agent you mix with it. Now, one of the things I told another guy, what's his name? Bruce Williams?
Brent Williams.
Brent Williams. He was talking about parts and stuff. There's an old resin. It's called Epon 815. And let me show you a jug of this stuff.
That shit's nasty.
Yes, it's the 815 is let's see if I can find it here.
By the way, you are full screen. I figured out how to do that.
Okay. So anyway, here's the Epon resin 815. And here's what the jug looked like. This was from years ago. And this is E.V. Roberts. Now, I don't know if they're still in business or not. It's been years. But you can still buy the Epon 815C. You can't really see it because the label sort of scratched up. This is Epon 815. And it's a Shell product. Since then, Shell has actually sold it to somebody else. So here's the kicker here. You go to health, flammability, and reactivity. That number 3, that's up there pretty high. That means you got to have gloves, a respirator. I mean, this is, it's getting up there where, you know, you better have some protection on. Now, here's the neat thing about the 815 Shell. You can mix this hardener with it and get you a super thin resin, and that's what I make the bell cranks out of. You take the 815C, which is a thin resin anyway, you mix it with this hardener at 33%. And then now you've got a really super thin resin, still high temp. And that's what I made the bell cranks out of. So you can tell by hearing, you know, it's a good, really hard, high temp resin. So you can take Resin Services curing agents and mix them with the 815 or like an 828. So that's just a little tidbit of information there. Let's see, since we're in the demolding process, move that out of the way. This here.
You got the garage door open?
Oh, heck no. Yeah, I'm closed up in here. So I got these parts in my little hot box underneath the bench here. I keep it around 90 or 100 degrees. So I just pulled this out. I cook these little bell cranks just starting out. Usually do them 100 degrees before I demold them. Not because I really need to, but it goes quicker. So I'll pull the pins out. And I've said in other videos, my pins come out easier when it's actually still warm. So I got my pins out. So you'll notice how this UHMW is a little bit bigger than the mold. I do that so I can go around and tap it. So basically that's almost ready for more wax and PVA. The other neat thing, if you spray the PVA when this mold is still nice and toasty warm, it kicks off and cures really quick. And then the part where you actually try to get the bell crank out, you can flex it a little bit, or you can actually put the razor blade underneath the edge, or if you want to. I've got a pin somewhere here, and what I do is I tap it from the back side with my nice Nip-X hammer. just like that, and it pops off. And then from this point, you know, you go around with some scissors or whatever you want to do to clean the flash off. And what's that? It needs the PVA to be cleaned off. And then all you do is go back here, and I take a little scraper and I scrape the rest of this flash off and put some more wax on this, and then more wax here, PVA, and you're good to lay up another one.
I wish I would have bought some of that stuff from that place we were at.
What stuff's that?
That white crap there. What do you call it? It's like Delrin, but
Yeah, the UHMW.
yeah.
Yeah, ultra high molecular weight, UHMW. I'll get back up there probably in the next month. I'll grab some. It cuts up really nice. Heck, you can run it just through a regular table saw or something, you know. Especially if you have a good plastic blade or something, or they can cut it up for you. But this right here is 3/8 of an inch. I like it to where it's thick enough to where there's clamping pressure all around, but I like it to where you can flex it if you have to, just maybe barely. And this is pretty much optimum to me, 3/8. And you can see, you know, once I knocked out the pin there that was sort of sticking in the holes, it released with just wax on it. So
I would like to have a sheet almost 4x8, but that would be real expensive, wouldn't it?
no, not really. I mean, heck, Sparky, you take a 4x8 sheet and you start cutting up a bunch of small stuff, you know.
Well, I'd like to have it as a worktop, a bench worktop.
Yeah, if you're going to lay up a bunch of stuff, I mean, as far as composites and stuff, if you had a big bench, it would be really easy to clean because nothing would stick to it. And one of the things I do with my glass tabletop here, I actually wax it every once in a while. So here's another bell crank. Well, anyway, Sparky, I'm not sure how many people watching your channel would find it interesting, but anyway, there's a record of the demold process, you know.
We got 12 watching us right now.
You think 10 of them are at work?
Probably.
You know, we were driving around the other day. It was like 4:30. I told my wife, I said, "What are all these people doing out here?" I said, "So much traffic." We were laughing. I said, "Yeah, I guess these people still have to work a regular job." So, but anyway, Sparky, that's pretty much what I was going to cover today.
For you guys who don't know, this is Dan Winship. He is now a manager on Stunhanger, so when he wants to upload a video, he can upload to this channel and you'll be able to see it.
Either that, Sparky, or you get under the weather or you get tired or something, you don't want to mess with it, then that way you can take a break. I'll come on here with some kind of crazy modeling stuff.
That's fine.
You know, before I do that, I'll call you. I won't come in there and throw something up there until I let you know what I'm doing. That way I'm not cutting into your time or anything.
I'm not a micromanager, Dan. You do what you want.
So anyway.
If John could get his shit together, we could have three-way.
Yeah, He's probably pretty busy, isn't he?
No, busy sitting in the chair.
Yeah, I know how that is. I'm trying to turn over a new leaf here. I'm trying to get a little bit more motivated. See if I can get some stuff done this year. And I know I'm going to get more bell cranks made today. After today, I should have about 6 or 7.
You froze up. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, it looked like. Let's see.
Yeah, you're froze up.
Yeah.
Bad Wi-Fi, I guess. Oh,
Can you still hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Okay. On my screen here, it says, are you trying to sign in?
I can't hear you now. Oh, well, we lost her for a minute. I'll continue to sand here. As soon as this is sanded, we can cut this off the bench. We're close. We are close. Yeah, Danny's gone. So if he comes back, we'll get him on there. Oh, the greatness of modern technology. There we are. Let's see. Hello.
Okay, I just wanted to call you and let you know. You already know I got kicked off, but for some reason it wanted to connect to something, or thought I was trying to connect to an iPhone or something. Could have been that I was getting a phone call too.
Yeah, well, that's all right.
I get too many things going. But anyway, Sparky, that's pretty much all I wanted to cover.
All right. Well,
And I'll get to the point where I start to do something new. I'll call you up and we'll make another run at it. At least we know how to make it work.
yeah, I had you at full screen for a while there. I figured out how to do that.
Yeah, I could see where it looked like the full screen. Yeah. So anyway, hopefully somebody finds it interesting. The people that watch composite stuff, they're pretty few and far between.
Yeah.
But if you can sand some ribs on top of this, you might get some viewers.
Yeah. Well, I'm sanding now, so.
Okay, well, I'll let you go. I'll clean up here, and then I'll be calling you later.
All right, buddy.
Okay, Spark, bye.
Bye. Well, I hope you guys enjoy the new format. We're going to try to do that more often. Since we can no longer have Saturday at John's, maybe we can bring something like that to the table. Man, I hate to put a tack glue on there, but it looks like I'm gonna have to. Okay, so we got that tacked in. We need to cut this back. Let's see, what does that say? Well, that's the internet. There's not a whole lot I can do about the internet. Not yet. I don't own the internet yet. Maybe I'll get with Al Gore and see if I can buy it from him. Back again. I hate to bring up politics, but you guys need to look at that Kerry Lake bribery phone call. Unbelievable. Our government is dirty. Shit. Well, that's how you do a beamer, right there. Get them all flat. You can cut this off the bench now. Turn it over and put it in my cradle. Got one rib right there. I know that's gonna look like shit. Yeah, maybe not. There's one right there. These people got to know that with new technology comes, they're going to get caught. Okay, now we need to add our sticks in there. And I just go halfway, you know, probably take a piece of 4-inch. 4-inch puts it. Let's see here, 3-inch maybe. Yep, that's better. This doesn't have to be perfect. I just like it to look nice while it's in bare bones. That's right. Let's see, we are zoomed in too far. Well, that guy needs to resign. I think our whole government needs to resign if you really want to know the truth. You guys know what government means? What the root word is? The root word for government is gobernamentos, translated mind control. Govern, to control. Mentis, yeah, in Latin. Governus mentis, mind control. For the sheeple. Bah. Bah. That's good. Except we're on the wrong side. Damn. I'm going to get a lot of stuff done today. Just because I'm falling behind. 24 days old. Is that what today, the 24th? Okay, what I did was I put the marks on the wrong side of these ribs. You want to do these sticks to the inside. You don't want to do them to the outside. Does it matter? Probably not. But if you'd like it to look nice, probably so. So I need 18 and 18 is 36. I need 37 little sticks. Yep, there we go. Okay, now we need to get a measurement on what they need to be. Try to do this before you cut it off the table. And it's fiddly. I think I already got a push rod made up. I think. I've been using solid push rods with carbon tube over the top, dripped with CA and kicked off. Less chance for any mistakes. Break, you know, where the JB weld would break. If it's a solid piece, it can't break. And it's really not heavy. This is a relatively light push rod here. I mean, maybe I'll use the aluminum push rods like I used to do in this. I wonder if I have any aluminum. I do. I do. Push rods I used to use are this aluminum tube, 1/4-inch aluminum tube with a wire inside stuffed with balsa. They weigh shit and they're strong. Okay, let's get a piece of good 16th. That's 3/32. 16th, there we go. Now this is a stack of wood that people would kill for. This is all 3.5 pound 16th. Let's see. We'll use the, let's use the potato chip one to get rid of it. What weight is that? Yeah, that's good enough. We'll use the one that's potato chipped out. Not good for sheeting or ribs or trailing edge sheeting or anything like that. I got one more. We're just going to cut a 1/4-inch stick off of it. Let's see. See, I got something fishing on my computer now. Thread secured. Yep, infected with PDF phishing XP something or other. You jerk offs that are trying to send me stuff to crack my website or crash my computer, you might as well forget it, because even though I'm old, I'm on top of things. I've only been doing computers since 1999, so I didn't get on the bandwagon in the 80s, but had to get on the bandwagon in 99. I still remember 286 and 386. They were junk. Man, what a waste of time. Okay, so we got a stick there. I think maybe that one piece will do it, but I'm not sure. Okay, so I need 19 for here. 19 of this stick. I'm not going to bother to make them absolutely 90 degrees to the bench. It doesn't matter. You know what? Let's just do it like that. It'll be fine. So we got 4, 5. I think I need to change the blade. There's got to be an easier way than this. Let's see how they work. Yeah, just pick a spot here. Yep. Now I think we're going to change this tip out because this will leave too big a glue to go up. You don't want much glue on these because what happens if you get any glue on top of these ribs now, that shows up in your covering. So be careful. You know, those tips seem to be clogging. Let's try them other tips I got. Icky sticky. Let's see how these work. 30 pack. We'll try them. I'll put this here. As some of you may have guessed, I'm feeling better, much better, where I can put in some more time than, go for longer than an hour. So we'll make this 2 hours. Take a break and then do another couple hours. All right, so we got that. So now we're set to go. Let's pick a spot here. Ah, you bitch. Okay, I'll play like that. We'll get that right there. I know that's stuck. Carefully. Yep. Yep. Okay, that size will work. So I need to cut some more. You guys still with me? Make sure you hit the like button. Super chat if you can. We're way behind this month on super chats. Way behind. And I understand, this type of content may not be interesting to some, but it does cost money to make this type of content. And I ain't working. Usually I support Stunhanger by myself, but I ain't working. But that's soon to change. I got to go back. I got to find me a little job so I can support Stunhanger. How many do we got? We got 2 done. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 5 more, 14, 15, 4 more. Yep, we're going to have 2 sticks. Gonna have to have 2 sticks. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's enough for one wing, but that ain't enough for the other. So we'll have to have another stick. This is 3.5 pound balsa. Maybe lighter. I wonder what. 7 grams, 4/16, 4 inches wide. 36 long. Let's see what that is. Okay, density calculator. 1, 2, length 36, 4, thickness 16th. Calculate. 7. 2.96 pound wood. How do you build light airplanes? With light wood. It's 3 pound wood, really. 2.96. Now this would not be good for sheeting. It's too light for sheeting, but be good for stuff I'm doing here like this, and you know, ribs and something where too much glue. Something where you can use the grain as strength. Like building a ship in a bottle. Little tiny stuff. Yeah, I got that one pretty damn close. I have to cut that back. That should be all right. A lot of people are asking about that sewing of the ribs. It's so easy. Even Gordy was asking about it. Anybody got a guess on what this airframe weighs as is? Bell crank included? Oh, that's close there too. Shit. Oh, well. I'm gonna have to watch that. That could be a problem. Not now. We just cut it off. Yep. You got to watch it, you know, when you're doing this. If you let it stick above the rib, it'll show through. This thing ain't 25 ounces. If it's 25 ounces, I'm in trouble. Maybe 14. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, this is a long, slow process. I need to get that booger off of there. Yeah, it came off easy. Yeah, these icky, sticky nozzles are a whole lot better than them cheap Chinese junk ones I got. Kept clogging up. Come on now. Glue on there. There it is. Starting to get shit on my hands here. Yeah, this airplane finished, complete. Controls, elevator, stabilizer, turtle deck, nose block, everything has got to be 25 ounces. With everything on it, flaps, landing gear, everything, 25. And that's too much. Because then you got 40 ounce, or you got 20 ounces of hardware. That includes the tank, the prop, the spinner, the extension, the wheels, 20 ounces in hardware. So that's 45 ounces. And a 6-ounce finish is 51. So I got to be, I'd like to be 19 ounces finished, but that ain't going to happen. Oh, shoot. Let's see. I can't read what that says. It says, yeah, brain fart. It'd be nice if it was 11.9. I doubt it, though. I think it's going to be closer to 14. All my ribs. All the ribs in this, of course, that was before sanding. 4, 8, 16 grams is a all the ribs is a half ounce. There is no heavy wood in this airplane, none, except the spar. The spar is heavy. Spar was 2 ounces. I used to be able to get these spars down to 1.5 ounces, but maybe I'm not sanding enough. I don't know. Yeah, I can feel a spot there. Got to get that off. Spot there too. Spot there. That glue wicked uphill for some reason. I got to make sure to sand them after this is on there. So we're going to get that off of there. Trying to do the best beam wing finish I've ever done. And as my tagline says, the finish starts with the first piece of wood cut. You can bet on that. I just figured out how to keep that off there. That's good. 3 left. Yep, just figured out how to keep it off of there. That goes right there. Goes right there. Yeah, got it off a little bit. Don't matter. Getting a booger on the end of this thing. It's stuck though. Okay, while we're thinking about it, let's grab the sanding bar and fix that so we don't forget it. Should hear some grinding on this now. Didn't get that one. What's the deal? There it is. Done. Okay, one more side. So I need 17 on that side. So we got a stick right here. I don't think we're going to get it. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I didn't think we were going to get 17. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. You know, 14. I'm 3 short. Shit. Shit. That means I got to cut another stick for 3 little pieces. Oh, we can do that. Terry says, good afternoon. Yeah, I don't know what the deal was. We had Danny on earlier. It's just part of YouTube. When Danny does a stream, I don't get notified till the next day. Everybody got to realize we control liners are low-hanging fruit. They don't care about us because there ain't enough of us. Oh, I got cups coming. I wonder if they've been delivered yet. Let's see. Amazonio. Come on. Orders. Arriving between 12:15 and 3:15, so they're not here yet. Paper cups. That's what your 2-ounce paper cups. I use them in sign painting. I use them to mix epoxy. Whatever I got to do. And I'm down to my last ream of them, so I ordered 200 more. They're wonderful. Okay, cut another piece. Cut another piece. 3 more. We can use this for the tailplane too. And what I'm going to do with this, I just thought of, I'm going to add it back here inside on both sides so that the elevator has more glue area to stick to. We need 3 of these. 3 more. One, 2, 3. We'll cut an extra one just for good measure, so I don't have to do it again. 4. In case I drop one. You get this done, we'll cut it off the bench. Cut her off the bench. Let's see, them ribs look good. Pretty good. Looks like I got a high spot out there on the tip. Right there. It's more better. I'm gonna cut that away. Just in case. Should do it. Do something here. That's not good. That's not good. And that's gonna show. Oh well. Just sand it when I get the covering on it. We'll get them doped up and see if we can harden them up. Yeah, we're gonna have to start doping here shortly. Put some dope on that. Dopey dopey. Get some Ron Howard on it. Some dopey. Okay, let's make it happen, I guess. I dropped CA on too much CA on it. Yeah, I have to turn it over and check that for sure. What the hell's going on here? Cut it off. Cut the boogie off. Hope you guys, while you're watching, are building. You know, this airplane's 24 days old. You should be just as far along as I am, because shit, when I got sick, you know, I got the crud. I didn't do anything. I'm just now getting over it, where I'm feeling halfway good. Yeah. I got that up too high. Cut a little off. There we go. Oh, I gotta take a break. Gotta have water. Got to get some water. Yeah. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. You could you know, I probably could have went up 4 inches. It don't matter. It don't matter. And I got these nice. This side, nice. That side there gave me kind of a headache. They must have had the bottle machine, the cap machine, turned up to 200 foot-pounds of torque. Yeah, well, we did 2 hours today. Hope you guys enjoyed the format with Dan Winship. I mean, let's see here. He knows about molding. And eventually him and I are going to get together and build a composite airplane. I think this airplane would be a good composite airplane. But, you know, if I remember Midgley and Windy, when they built them wings, they were heavy. You're going to have to figure out a way to get them lighter. Doran has a good program. His airplane, he's a good craftsman, really good craftsman. I don't like the design of his airplane, but he's a good craftsman. The pre-preg he uses is all nicely done. But he's got experience. He made propellers. He was Gator prop. I think that other guy, McHenry, is involved with it too. All right, well, we got 2 hours in. If you guys got any questions, I'll take a break. Well, if you don't get the guy making a bribe on tape, sorry about that. I mean, he's caught red-handed. That's dirty as hell. It ain't an accusation. It's provable fact. Our government is dirty. Alrighty, I guess, I don't know, I'll be back around 2 o'clock maybe. Take a 2-hour lunch break. I'll go ahead and finish this up and get it cut off the bench. And we'll tinker, I guess. Maybe I set up the steam box and get ready to mold the top and bottom blocks. We're going to mold those out of 3/32. And they should be in the ½ ounce range. ½ ounce for the top, ½ ounce for the bottom. I've got to fit controls yet. I got to make a horn. And I'm going to, like I say, I'm going to use this as banding for the stabilizer. We're going to have to get over political correctness. Get over it. Otherwise, we're not going to have a country here shortly. It's already gone. This ain't the country I grew up in. These are too long. We need to cut them down an inch more. So the push rod will clear. There we go. So that gives it 3/16 on each side to glue to. instead of just an 1/8 inch. We have to sand the inside of this out yet too, but I need to get the top and bottom blocks made up. And yes, I do sand the inside of the airplane out. This will end up 1/16 of an inch. You start out on an 1/8 so you can get some shape to it. Thunderbolts start out with 3/16 so you can get some shape to it. And then you sand the inside out. You take all that extra wood away. Matter of fact, I could use it on the top too to attach it. I could run some stringers in there. Like so. Yep, we'll use this for stringers too. That will assure a good bond to the turtle deck. Backs are stubborn things. Yep, we got our 2 hours in. Alrighty, like, subscribe, and share. I'll see you in a couple hours. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya.